Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur observed his vow to chant the Mahamantra 1 billion times here. This is part 2 of a 2-part video where we check out Sri Caitanya Math. Roll the intro. Hey there, temple nerds, it's Prema. Welcome back to my channel. In this segment, we check out some mandirs and I tell you a little bit about them. Now, I am not the tour guide that you want, but it's fine. No, it's fine. No, I'm not offended. It's okay. Don't worry. No, don't worry about it. I'm not hurt. I'm a little hurt. We're here with part 2 of our 2-part video about Sri Caitanya Math. And if you haven't seen part 1 yet, go check it out and come back. Or you can do it after this video. I don't think it really matters. So let's recap. Here is Bhakti Vijay Bhavan. Here's my favorite sign. There's also these really cute like penguin trash cans. They're so like out of place at this temple, but I like them. Here is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Samadhi, which was constructed in 1946 under the supervision of Bhaktivilas Tirtha Maharaj. And here is the mandir that has the deities of Sri Gandharvika Giridhari. As you can see, 29 pinnacles on top. Random little factoid, by the way. I once read that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur liked to do his writing under a jackfruit tree, but I couldn't figure out which jackfruit tree it was. Or maybe the tree no longer exists. To the right of the mandir, we can see Gourkisor Das Babaji Maharaj's Mahasamadhi. Now let's talk a little bit about Gourkisor Das Babaji. He was born in Bangladesh, and from childhood he was naturally a devotee of Krishna. After his wife's untimely death in 1849, he immediately went to Vrindavan and lived there for 30 years. While he was there, he took Babaji initiation from Bhagavat Das, a disciple of Jagannath Das Babaji. If you remember from our Yoga Pit video, Jagannath Das Babaji was the one who confirmed the actual birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Jagannath Das Babaji's disciple Bhagavat Das gave Babaji initiation to Gourkisor Das. In 1894, Gourkisor Das Babaji moved from Vrindavan to Navadwip after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's birthplace was rediscovered. Gourkisor Das Babaji was extremely renounced and could be perceived as a little eccentric. He didn't like the attention that he attracted from being a monk, so to detract people, he would do things like wear clothes from people who recently died, or eat rice out of a skull, or sit on a prostitute's porch. He was the guru of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, his one and only disciple. Gourkisor Das Babaji left his body on November 19th of 1915 in Navadvip. Okay, so I have so much information that I've collected since I started this project, but I also want to keep my videos short. So I think when I finish my videos on Antardwip, I will make a video about all the stuff I couldn't include, in case you want to like nerd out like me and learn some more random stuff. Anyway, that being said, leaving the Samadhi, there is a raised section of the campus that you can reach with just a few steps.
Hey cutie, I got some prasadam for you. Ooh, let's give it to Baba.
Here you'll see the Mahasamadhi of Bhaktivilas Tirtha Goswami and Bhakti Pragyanyati Maharaj. I hope I said that right. There's also a museum here, but it was closed by the time I was ready to check it out. I'm sure it's lovely. Then we come to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's Bhajan Kutir. He constructed this little brick kutir in February of 1909 and made it the headquarters of the Gaudiya Math. He completes his vow of chanting 1 billion names here. On March 27th of 1918, he took sannyas here. By this time, Gourkisor Das Babaji had already left his body and there was no one qualified to give him sannyas initiation. So he sat in front of a picture of his guru with his danda and meditated. After this, he continued his preaching mission with full force. You can see his original shoes here, and he also used to observe a 4-month period of fasting called Chaturmasya. and he would eat from this stone slab that you see here on the floor. Okay, I used to think Chaturmasya was just not shaving or not eating the green leafies for a few months, but apparently it's much more than that. The reason there's a stone slab that he ate off is because part of the vow of Chaturmasya is to eat like a cow. So you eat a very simple meal off the floor, no plate. You can't use your hands, what to speak of utensils. And once you sit up from eating in that like crouching position, your meal's done. So there's that for those of you that enjoy austerity or whatever. Within the kutir, there is like a cutout of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in the center. And then on the right is a cutout of his most beloved personal servant, Paramananda Vidyaratna Das. And on the left is Bhaktivilas Tirtha Goswami, who helped with developing and managing Sri Caitanya Math. And right in front of this kutir, we can see landmarks of importance taken from Vrindavan, like Govardhan, the Kadamba tree, the Tamal tree, and of course, Radha-Kunda. And I think at the time of Bhaktisiddhanta, there was only Radha-Kunda. I don't really see mention of the other things. And Radha-Kunda he excavated in May of 1920. Everything else was developed after he died. And taking in this space, it's so beautiful. There's a nice pathway that goes around Radha-Kunda and Shyamakund. In these two ponds, there are big fish that swim and bob in the water, while birds sing in the trees that surround the ponds and flowers bloom everywhere. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said that the yoga pit is non-different from Sri Krishna's birthplace in Mathura. Srivas Angan is identical to the Rasastali where the gopis eternally dance and sing with Krishna and Raslila. And here, Chandrasekhar Bhavan is another form of Govardhan and Radha-Kunda, which is why he affectionately called this place Vrajapattna, or the town of Vrindavan, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would perform dramas about Sri Krishna's pastimes here, making it non-different from Vrindavan itself. I imagine 100 years ago, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur walked here and preached here, cried and prayed here. At the time, there was absolutely nothing. Just undeveloped land in the middle of a Muslim village. He had no money. He had more enemies than friends. Where does he even start? He tolerated so many obstacles and fought so much ignorance. Ultimately, he had faith, but he would never see exactly the far-reaching impact of his work. How he was key in fulfilling the prediction of his father that would eventually bring people from all over the world to bow their heads in this sacred little town of Mayapur. You know, when it's peaceful, it's nice to just sit here at Radha-Kunda and chant, or just meditate and absorb the ambience, which I invite you to do with me now for just a moment. Thanks for watching my video. Links are down below. Be good to each other and be good to yourselves. Bye.